doubt. Good evening. How is everything? Not good at all.
Rain is good for washing down the buildings.
Gotta keep the law, no matter what the weather.
Hey, careful.
Hello everyone, hope you're having a great day today. Okay. Okay everyone, next part of Black Ops 1 will be tomorrow also. Well, the Project Nova cosplay is actually going to be really good. You know what else? The WMD cosplay for the mission on Mount Yamata is also going to be really good. Hey guys. Did you guys like my video of me reacting to the retail stories? Did you guys like that? Do you want me to do another one like that in the future? Yes, Menace, that's true. Hey, what's up, guys? Thank you, Royale with cheese. I'm just happy I don't work in retail anymore. No, I'm not sure, Lewis. Yeah, Kiwami circuit racing can be, or Yakuza 0, I mean, circuit racing can be, hard, but I didn't know it comes back in Kiwami, that I didn't know. What's my way of dealing with loneliness and depression in college? I wouldn't say I really had depression in college. I didn't live in college, I lived at home, but the thing about this is, what's always helped me, whenever I felt down, like I was in a, not a happy mood, I was in a sad mood, one thing that's always helped me out is talking to my close friends on PSN, like people that I've known for years. Like when I talk to them on PSN, that's always cheers me up. And the thing about this is sometimes talking to your friends is better than talking to your family, because your close friends, especially like your best friends, oftentimes they understand you better than your own family. Do you know Red Dead Online, Santa Claus, a TikTok creator? No, I don't, Fernando. Well, thank you, Fernando Varela. Thank you for the super chat. I've never heard of that channel. New profile picture. Who this? Anyway, LFG Movement B. When you pre-ordered The Last of Us DualSense, yet I thought I'd take 0.0001 seconds to sell out. Perfect to play golf with too. Wait, Last of Us, controller? Wait, what? Thank you, Blinded Eagle. No, I haven't, Zach. My week was good, Zach. How was yours? It's okay, Dreadnought. Is Volpe's Inculta a psychopath? I don't know. To me, well, it seems like he has some limits at least. Lanius I think, would be more closer to a psychopath than Volpe's would be. Thank you, Lightning Soul. I'm glad you enjoyed my videos. I'm good, Isaiah. How are you, dude? Can we sell my trader and my moonshiner? Sure, we can do it after this bounty. Thank you, Justin, for... Oh, I found him. Thank you for being a member of my channel for, a year and a half. Thank you, dude. When I have time, Zach, I'm sorry, I've just been busy with a lot of stuff.
You don't know what you're doing.
What else do I stream? GTA on Sundays, and I'm considering trying out some Fallout 76 streams when the update comes out on Tuesday. Well, I just haven't had the time, Zach. No, I haven't, Genie.
Demonios. No chingues.
Second video, Black Ops 1 tomorrow, or technically today. Technically today, because it's midnight already. I did look at the link that you sent me, Zach.
Cabron.
Really miss playing this game. Can never find the time, and the lack of content is depressing. At least we can appreciate it for what it is. I wish this game would get updates. And when you think about it, you know, this game got abandoned in, what, July of 2021? And think about it, that means this game would have got 3.5 years of content if it hadn't gotten abandoned. So we would have had some really big DLCs by now. But man, this game's been abandoned for so long.
Ain't this a rare treat? Perhaps you could, escort them to their cell? Done deal.
Oh, no, I didn't, Menace. The DualSense Edge, what I would say about it is the grips are good on it, the sticks, because you can swap them out for $15 instead of buying a brand new controller when you get stick drift. But sometimes the grips themselves have even gotten sold out by scalpers, and the controller itself is $200, and and it peels. Like, the skin of the controller actually will peel over time, which is ridiculous. I'm excited for a new Battlefield game. When is it coming out? This year? No, Vertigo. I'm sorry. I didn't have time. I was doing a lot of stuff this week, and I was finishing editing that video the other day. Did you happen to see the retail video? I included your comment in it. Did you see it? Why do I still play Red Dead Online? Because I promised people I would. 4 years ago... Oh, hey, Mr. Wick. 4 years ago, I had... I was, you know, people were asking me if I was going to give up Red Dead Online because of the updates. And I said that, no, I'm going to, you know, keep playing it, and I'm going to keep a Friday stream, you know. So I'll keep doing Friday streams on Red Dead. What I might do about that, Vertigo, is I might do like a video, maybe like top 5 most insane retail stories that like I read in like the news, and maybe like do that in the future and include that one. Hey Pat, I'm not able to play this Sunday GTA Online in hospital since yesterday. I have a bowel obstruction, extreme pain, consolation, abdomen bloat. Oh, I hope that you're okay, Agent, and I hope that you make a full recovery as well. I hope everything's okay, dude. Thank you for the super chat. I hope that you get better, dude. I did my driving test today, but I failed it. I wouldn't worry about that, Zombie. A lot of people failed their first driving test. I failed my permit test, my first permit test. So that was I wouldn't worry about it too much. It's normal. Thank you, Zombie Fanatic. Have I seen the leaks for Liberty City Stories? What leaks? Wait, what? There's what? We're getting like a definitive edition or something? What's going on? Do 2 retail comments and include hotel horror stories. Maybe I could do a series on that one day too. Thank you, Task Suppressor. Thank you, dude. Yeah, I'm gonna leave a post about it, Brandon. Also, guys, there's some idiot that's a scammer that's pretending to be me, and he's using my profile picture, and he's texting people on the professional, like, account, but it's not me, and he basically just replies to people's comments in, like, my videos and my posts, and he says, like, text me on WhatsApp. That is not me. I'm not telling anybody to text me on WhatsApp, so just keep that in mind. We blocked his accounts, but he keeps making more accounts. Why didn't Castro turn over Morgan's body to his family for a proper burial? He could have done that as a final respect for his former friend. Because Castro is a piece of shit. Excuse my language. You'll have plenty of people that that defend him, say Castro is some kind of freedom fighter. He's a terrible man, and especially the fact that he would not even turn over Morgan's body for a funeral. That's disgusting. So what was the leak about Liberty City Stories? What am I doing? Oh, right. Let's help with that sale. What am I doing? The sale. Justin, let's do your sale. Yeah, Bullet, but these scammers are just massive losers. Leave a posse, but no, I'm Justin, I'm in your posse already. I'm just waiting for you to form it. It was beta content and the beta builds. Oh, I thought there was gonna be a leak of a definitive edition for Liberty City Stories. I got really excited for a moment. But what was in the beta leaks, and how did it get leaked? Nanta, I haven't heard about this game. What is this game? What do you think of the saying, the customer is always right? I would change that saying to the rational customer is always right. That's what I would change the saying to. There's plenty of demands that customers make that's really stupid. Oh crap, I didn't want to do this, sorry. Let me get on my horse. What would have happened if the Bay of Pigs was successful? Cuba would be a way better place today. And would be a pretty decent, rich country in the Caribbean. Trunks, you need to leave one of your active posses. When's Black Ops 2 part of Orkuda? Today. Later today, I'll upload it. Are you the only streamer who reads the chat on the streams? I don't think so, no. But that's one of the reasons that people come to my streams a lot, is because I read a lot of comments. A lot of people on streams don't even read the comments, they don't bother. But I'm not a funny guy, I don't make jokes. So people don't really come to my streams for, like, laughing, but they do appreciate that I read their comments and answer them. Did I know that the Sandinistas oppressed the indigenous mosquito people after the revolution? They even launched bombing campaigns to force them off their lands in order to nationalize them. Oh my god. And that's the thing is, you hear communists talking so much about protecting indigenous peoples, and they do stuff just like that. Communists will talk a lot of propaganda, but they don't ever mean anything of what they say. Oh, I'm actually gonna do a video on the Ghoul update in Fallout 76. I'll do that. Hey, Bounty Hunter. I don't think the Soviet Union would have the resources to send some kind of invasion over in the Bay of Pigs. Oh, I will actually, I'll upload the final part of Yakuza 0 either tomorrow or on Sunday. Have I watched the series Chicago Fire? No, I haven't. I think I actually know the series that you're talking about. My professor in college said that he shouldn't have been a detective. He should have instead been a firefighter in Chicago, because he said that the firefighters in Chicago are always having an amazing time in Chicago Fire. He was making fun of the show. The Mosquito people helped the Sandinistas overthrow the Somoza family, who ruled Nicaragua for decades, and that was how the Sandinistas repaid them. And you also, you have to also remember that the Tatars, they are, they're an indigenous group to Crimea, and a lot of them actually supported the Russian Revolution. And then you see later on how the Soviets treated the Tatars. The Soviets literally stole the Tatars' land in Crimea, displaced them, deported them, killed so many of them, sent so many of them to gulags. JRC, controversial institution in Canton, MAM, for people with disabilities, condemned torture, use of GED device administrators, electric shocks to residents. Yeah, people have been telling me about that horrible school. I'm gonna read into it this weekend. And then I'll talk about it on Sunday if anybody asks me about it. But yeah, people have told me some pretty messed up things about this school. And thank you, Aternus. I know, Brandon. What countries are considered failed states? Well, the best example of a failed state is Somalia. Somalia is probably the best example of a failed state. I would put, for failed states, I would say, Somalia, Libya, Syria, North Korea, too, yeah. North Korea has a government, but it's still, you know, a horrible place to live. Did you know that Boris Pasternak was forced by the Soviet government to turn down the 1958 Nobel Prize in Literature for his novel Dr. Zhivago because he was critical of the October Revolution? I didn't know that. Is he an offer in the Soviet Union? Is this... And thank you, QC for the super chat. And is this like a school that's been getting a lot in the news lately? I'll play Metal Gear Solid 2 before Metal Gear Solid 3 comes out. Yeah, I might Lightning Soul. Oh, when it comes to Nintendo Switch 2, I would be willing to get the Nintendo Switch 2 if there was like an exclusive that I really liked. If they ever made Mega Man Legends 3 and they put it on Nintendo Switch 2, I'd buy it just for that. Yeah, I would make a movie. I would make a video on it, QC, but it's this is a school that's right now, like, it's getting in the news right now a lot. Yeah, is everything okay, Mr. Wick? Well, Metal Gear, the remake, Metal Gear Solid 3's remake is coming out in August. No, I have a different cosplay for that, Mason. Okay, I'll see you, Menace. Take care, Take care, dude. You fear death? I think everybody fears death. Anybody who says they don't, I think is lying. I'll look into this QC. Why didn't Ryder fight back against CJ? Well, he did in the original beta build. But Ryder is just a coward. He runs away, he flees. Metal Gear Solid 4? I actually have Metal Gear Solid 4. I haven't played that game in so long. His award-winning novel, Dr. Zhivago, did depict the dark side of the October Revolution, collectivism, and the Great Purge as well. Pasternak passed away in 1960. The book was banned in the USSR. But how did the USSR force him not to accept the Nobel Peace Prize? Was he even living in the USSR? Yeah, I'll look into it, Vertigo. Oh, happy birthday, Mr. Wick. Have I heard of the Czechoslovakian legions? Yes, in World War I, and they were also in the Siberian intervention, during the Russian Civil War. He was living in the USSR. Khrushchev threatened to deport him if he receives a Nobel Prize, though Khrushchev did end up reading the novel for himself and liking it. Huh. My former friend, co-worker's death yesterday inspired me to try to stop drinking, but I'm at a point where that would kill me. And advice, I will tell you, James, that I never really drank, and I haven't drank really anything in like maybe a decade. Technically, I do drink, but maybe wine or champagne, like on Christmas, or maybe like once every few months, like a glass. But that's about it. I will tell you, though, that, when it comes to drinking, one of the things that's kept me away from it is I thought that I would get rid of it because it, helps my health out a lot. And the second thing is, I've had family members of mine who have suffered from alcoholism, and I've seen what that does to people. And so that's one of the reasons that I've never wanted to drink. I gotta look into this book, Gunner. I'm glad you love the Mercenaries playthrough. Thank you, dude. Well, CJ really had no reason to kill Loke at that point. Loke had basically given up. And it was actually better for Loke to be alive to be shamed. It was better for Mad Dog's career. What do you mean, Hugo? First Metal Gear Solid remake? The main antagonist GTA 1? I wouldn't know. But I hope that everything is, okay with you, James, and, you have my condolences about your friend. I didn't know that the CIA put a bounty on Morgan, Gunner, but I know that his citizenship was revoked, that I do know. Probably tomorrow, Reagan. Hey, Mario. I don't think it's like this new update. It's a whole brand new console, Zombie Fanatic. I did see it, Brandon. My favorite firearm of all time? Probably the SVT-40. Well, I hope everything works out for you, James. Yeah, I'll probably play Black Ops 1 Zombies. No, I haven't. I played Mercenaries 2, but I haven't played on the channel. But I'll do a playthrough of it. Open to that. I don't know why Red Dead Redemption 2 hasn't gotten a PS5 upgrade. It needs a 60 FPS mode. I'll probably play on PCs, Justin. I love both Mercenaries games. I think there are some things the first game did better than the second game, but I generally like the second game too. What can't be, what's no longer available on the store? Wait, what? Strike? Why do most Polish last names end with ski? Well, it's just a Polish name. A future GTA game will take place in QC. What's QC? The South Korean's Mafias in Yakuza 2. Who's the most annoying mom in the GTA series? Well, the most psychotic would be Ma Cipriani in GTA, oh, QC is for Quebec? I don't know. But I don't... Will they make a GTA game in Quebec? I don't know, I don't think so. I can't really picture them making a GTA game outside of America. I really can't, I don't know if that's really answered, Gunner. Yeah, I can, Reagan. Well, Luis's mom was really annoying. Yes, I would agree with you on that one. Oh, this is a really long ride. We're almost there. A little bit, Gunner. I also wonder why the Punchinellos never went after Max Payne. Oh, Vic Vance's mom is horrible. Yeah, she's horrible. Yeah, I'm playing on PC, Gunner. Well, I think eventually Vic would have figured out that that it was Diaz who set him up. I've actually watched 91 Days. I know the anime you're talking about. It's a 1920s mafia anime. I've actually seen the whole thing. Am I single? A single child? Technically, it's just, you know, me and my parents, but I have a half-brother and a half-sister. Oh, what is this here? Do you think we'll ever see a modern-day Rockstar game take place in Carcer City, even if it's outside the Manhunt series, which likely we won't see? No, it's probably only gonna be in, Manhunt. I mean, maybe they could make, like, Carcer City into, like, Rockstar's version of, oh, what just happened? Maybe they could make Carcer City into, like, Rockstar's version of Chicago, and maybe they'll justify it that way. Like, they could turn it into, like, a new city, like, they could maybe make the HD version Chicago, but I don't, yeah, I don't think so, and I don't think they're ever gonna bring back the Manhunt series, somebody, because the political correctness, they will never bring back Manhunt. It is, Carcer City is mentioned in GTA 5, you're absolutely correct on that, but it doesn't mean necessarily that we're gonna go back to it, though. Like, imagine Rockstar making Manhunt 3 today. I don't think it would fly, yeah. The Strange Man in Red Dead? He's most likely some kind of god. Wait, what's wrong, Brandon? Watch Dogs 1 probably, Gunner. They're gonna give Carcer City the North Yankton treatment if they brought it back. Yep. Texas, I think, could be fine for a GTA setting. Is Black Lagoon or Jormungand better action? They're both pretty similar. I think they actually take place in the same universe, don't they? Aren't they both in the same universe? But I would say Black Lagoon probably has the better action, yeah. Black Lagoon. How are adults-only games sold if no stores are allowed to sell them? Yeah, I'll play Mafia 3, and I'll play all the Mafia games.
You know that old burnout town up northeast? Pleasance? Looks like some of them hill folks stole someone over there. Could be trouble, but you look like you might take to that sort of thing. You're saying yes? Well, good for you. You're a better person than me.
Better person than you.
You better go fast. Those hill folk can miss their prey.
I was gonna bring her there too, but nope, I guess I can't do that.
Do what you're gonna do. If you're gonna. Those evil sons of bitches. You gave them what they deserved. I'm done standing by. Can you take me to the road, Sheriff? I don't normally, but they've tormented my people long enough.
Oh. I'd rather the new GTA game be set in the HD universe, because the HD universe is still relatively new.
No! What's this now? More of them? Y'all gonna die together.
Manif, the next part is actually going to be a lot of history on it too, and I'm going to explain basically
This is too damn much for me.
I'm going to explain the Gulag's history.
We're close now. Where are you going? I don't like it here one bit, but at least it's better than with them bastards where you found me. Here, you earned it.
Listen, there's no need to cover your face. We're all friends.
What do I know about the Battle of Taro? That was in the Pacific during World War II. It's also in it's the final battle in Medal of Honor Pacific Assault. Very brutal battle.
Unbelievable.
Japanese would just fight till the very last man. What happens if U.S. and South Korea won the Korean War? What will the USSR react if it happens? Well, there was really no winning the Korean War because China was not going to leave North Korea, so there really was no winning. The only thing that could have been done is stopping China and North Korea from conquering South Korea. Thank you, Mr. Jesus. And thank you, Occultisk Suppressor. Did I enjoy the music in the second Black Ops mission as you break out the gulag? It's awesome, yes. I actually turned it up, so I'm gonna have it in the next part, too.
I'm always messing things up.
the Falklands War. That was when Argentina basically attacked the Falklands, trying to take it from Britain in the 80s. I think that Britain had the right to defend itself, because the Falkland Islands have historically been British, and the British had actually occupied the islands before Argentina even was a country. And I think there wasn't even really any Argentinians that lived on the Falkland Islands. The vast majority of people that live on the Falkland Islands are British, and Argentina was like trying to claim that it was their islands. What do I think about Nathan Hale, the Patriot spy during the American Revolution? Do you consider him one of the greatest heroes of the Revolution? Well, Nathan Hale was like 17 or 18 at the time. He was a very young soldier. He was a spy. He was caught by Robert Rogers from the Queen's Rangers, and it was that I think it was his cousin who was actually a loyalist who ratted him out. So his own family backstabbed him. And he, when he was actually executed, he was asked if he has any regrets or any last words, and he said that his only regret is that he only has one life to give for his country, was his famous last words. The thing about Nathan Hale is Nathan Hale's execution was the primary reason on why the U.S. executed John Andre. So Major John Andre was the British spy master, and he was actually caught. He was caught in civilian clothing behind American lines when Benedict Arnold's plot to surrender West Point was caught, and Andre was hanged primarily as revenge for what had happened to Nathan Hale. Does anybody want to join my posse, by the way? I formed a new posse. It's open. I liked the video about reviewing work horror stories. Thank you, Toot. That was a crazy one, too, yeah. Some of those stories I was not expecting.
Silencio! They're here to steal from us!
Wow, how many shots did that guy take? What a weird bunch of missions. Freeing the cougar. Bro, that wasn't nice. What wasn't nice? Probably in a lot of conflicts the US should not have gotten involved, Gunner. How come the Brazilians never helped Argentina in the Falklands War? What would they gain from that? They really wouldn't gain anything in it. Even if Argentina won. Have you ever considered creating a podcast on our channel to discuss gaming news, history, not modern, and crazy current events? Yeah, but I guess I kind of do it for my streams, because it would be a very random series too. what are your thoughts on Luigi Mangione? You're talking about the CEO killer, the insurance killer, right? What I think about him, and thank you, Mr. Jesus, for the super chat. The company that the CEO was from, United Healthcare, that company had like a 33% denial rate, and the average insurance denial rate is about 16%. So that company had a double percentage on its denial claims. And so a lot of people died. A lot of people got sick, worse conditions, you know, went bankrupt or died because of United Healthcare's coverage. I'm not defending Luigi. I don't support, you know, vigilante justice or killings. The only thing that I'm saying is that that company was really evil. And it's gonna be a it's gonna be a very interesting trial to watch, because I will say this is Luigi's defense is probably gonna be vigilantism. That's probably what his defense is probably gonna be. And I wonder how the jury is gonna react to that. The prosecutor in that case is probably not going to deny the horrible things that United Healthcare has done. But what the prosecutor is probably going to say is that while United Healthcare has done horrible things, it's not up to Luigi to be a vigilante. That's probably what they're going to argue in the case. But I really hope that that trial is taped. I hope it is. Because if that trial is taped, I'll watch every single day of it. Oh, that was actually the coolest, one of the coolest scenes in the Rambo series. But I remember that scene. He took the cloth, he wrapped it in the claymore, he put the claymore near the World War II unexploded bomb, and the dogs ran to it. Best trap in Rambo, the claymore bomb. No, I don't have any animals. Oh, the tunnels in Rambo Last Blood were cool, too. I really hope they make that final Rambo movie, because Sylvester Stallone said he wants to direct a final Rambo movie where Rambo is, like, on a Native American reservation. I'd like to see that movie. I think it's, like, where the cartel comes back after him again. But yeah, I really hope they still make one final Rambo movie, because I still want to see one final Rambo one.
Allons-y. Ah, I was wondering when you were going to get here. This is a good batch, of course. They are all good batches, but this one is superior, eh? I have found a buyer who will appreciate it. And most important, they will pay for it too. Now, all you have to do is...
Oh, I don't know the game. I'd have to look into it, Brandon.
Seigneur, ayez pitié.
I didn't know the USSR paid 11 times the price of sugar from Cuba. That's straight up extortion. I'm surprised the Soviets were fine with that. Yeah, well, here's the thing. You know, people act like Cuba was some kind of, you know, economic success. But the Soviet Union paid 11 times the price of sugar, for Cuban sugar. And, you know, who does something like that? Who pays 11 times the price of anything? It's bad enough paying double the price of something, but 11 times? And the only reason the Soviets were paying 11 times the price of sugar was to keep the Cuban economy afloat. That was their primary reason. And the reason that the USSR wasted so much money on Cuba is because Cuba was like their only ally in the West. And so they wanted to keep Cuba from collapsing. It was the closest to America, and they wanted to use Cuba basically as spy in America. That was the primary reason. No, I haven't seen that one. I did see a Guy Ritchie movie. I saw the movie The Covenant. Have you seen that one? That one I actually really liked. I liked that movie a lot. Thoughts on vigilantism? Here's the thing is, wherever in the world that you see vigilantism, whenever you see it, it always happens as a result of basically the law failing or corruption. So whenever you see vigilantism, is either the law has failed or there's, you know, massive corruption. And when we're going back to like these insurance companies, is I don't know what the solution is. I'm not an expert. I don't want the government getting involved in people's personal lives. I'm a small government guy, but I will say at the same time too that I think something needs to be done about these insurance companies. I think something needs to be done about them. I don't know what the solution is, but something needs to be done about them. Because of the fact that people pay for insurance and then you don't get coverage when you need it. So I think that there needs to be some kind of, something needs to be done. I don't know what the solution is, but something needs to be done about it. Because you pay for coverage and you don't even get the coverage when you need it. So it's, let doctors compete against each other for prices. That'll drive down prices. Well, doctors already technically compete. But I will also say this, that one of the biggest problems is the medicines itself. The medicines cost so much money. And if you look at some European countries, for example, in some European countries, the same medicine that Americans pay for, they are paying 10 times the price of European medicines. That's not an exaggeration. There are medications that Americans pay 10 times more than Europeans pay. And the primary reason for that is because in Europe there are laws that basically say that you cannot charge, you know, like insanely high prices for the medication. In America, there really aren't those kinds of laws, and because of that, stuff like that happens. I personally think that there should be some kind of law that says that if you are selling this medicine in this country, you have to sell the same medicine for a reasonable price in the other country. You can't do something like 10 times more in another country. I might make PvP videos when GTA 6 comes out. When GTA 6 comes out, maybe I'll do something like that. What would make you leave the US? Really, almost nothing. The only thing that I would consider leaving the US for is if like the US is completely destroyed. That would be the only thing that would make me leave. But other than that, really nothing. Oh, I didn't say that the solution is nationalized healthcare. I didn't say that. I just said that there should be some kind of laws that basically say that companies cannot list their medication for like 10 times the price of what they do in like European countries. Hello, Mari. Yeah, I will do... I'll tell you what, John Doe. I'll do Metal Gear Solid 2 before Metal Gear Solid 3, the remake, comes out. I have a cold. I hope you feel better, Black Sun. How about full nationalization of healthcare and pharmaceuticals like what they have in Britain? I don't think something like that would work in America because America is such a large nation and the medical field is completely private in America, almost completely private. And so having something like a national, health service in America, I don't think that it would, I don't think it would work, at least not right away. It was, what I think I could do is, if I was president, maybe I would create like a new policy that would like change healthcare without necessarily nationalizing it. What I would do is I would create like a government version of insurance, and this government version of insurance, it would give like every single American like $10,000 of coverage, every single year, and you don't have to pay anything for it. So you can only use it for medical coverage. And basically is that doctors and hospitals cannot reject it. So no doctor or hospital can reject it, can say, we can't accept this. I think something like that, might help somewhat. Because the problem with American healthcare is that American healthcare is some of the best in the world, has some of the best technology, but the prices are just out of control. It is just, the prices are just insane. I'll see you, Brandon. Take care, man. Find this guy here. I think I might have seen him. Did I see him just now? Here. Well, I know, regular dude. There are operations that are gonna cost like a lot of money. What I was saying is that if the government offers some kind of plan or something like that, then I think at least that would give people some breathing room when it comes to medications and any services that they might need. The Israel and Palestine conflict, I'm not on Palestine's side, I'm not on Israel's side. I'm on the side of peace. I'm neutral in that conflict. I don't want to get involved in it. I just want the violence and the killing to stop. That's my position on it. What happens if you cut Medicaid? Well, I don't think that cutting Medicaid would be necessarily a good idea, but... the thing is, though, is that there are plenty of places to cut in the government. The government is so large, Medicaid does not need to be cut. There are so many places in the government that is just, nonsense. Come to Houston for the rodeo. You already have the outfit. Well, thank you, dude. I don't know what Dutch labor laws are, Zach. I'm good, Eric. How are you, dude?
Still looking.
I don't want to talk about any of these wars, Andrew. I just want the violence and the killing to stop, and hopefully, both conflicts can end. How do I have so much money? I've been playing over time. I've been playing for we can't even find this target. This bounty here was terrible. Oh, man. Oh, well. Manhunt. Oh, that mission sucks. The mission's terrible. You say you stand with Israel, but say you're neutral. What are you talking about? I literally just said to you 5 minutes ago that I'm not on Israel or Palestine side. I said I'm completely neutral. Saying that I'm neutral does not mean that I'm on Israel's side. I don't know what you're talking about.
That's a strong-looking steed.
I literally said I'm not getting involved in this. I care about my country, the United States, and so these conflicts, I hope that they end. I'm on the side of peace, but I don't want to get involved in them, and I just hope that the killing stops. That's just it. I don't support either side.
I'm gonna shoot you.
Okay.
You dead now.
Get over the Blackwater here. I mean, dude, come on. What are you talking about there? I literally said that I'm on the side of peace. I said that I want the killing and the violence to end. And, I mean, come on, dude. Seriously. That's... Why do people assume that if you don't take a side in a conflict that you're on the opposite side? It makes no sense. It's because I will tell you why. It's because it's this attitude. If you're not with me, you're against me. That's basically what the attitude is. They can't. There are people out there that cannot accept that people are neutral in something, that they don't want to take a side, and so they think that if you're not with me, you're against me. That's the attitude. And also, the thing about this is I am an American that lives in the upper Midwest, playing games on YouTube. I am just only one guy. I have no power to stop anything. And so I don't know why people, people act like I can stop a conflict that is, thousands of miles away from on the other side of the world. That has... I like I said, I'm not on any side. I just want the violence and killing to end. If you want the violence, look, the only thing, here's what I'm just gonna tell you about this. Is that literally if you want the violence to stop, protest against the leaders of both nations. Don't bring me into this or like accuse me of supporting either side when I'm saying that I'm neutral. By standing up like I'm doing in Belgium, I boycott them and spread the truth. I don't know what there is to boycott. I don't buy anything from Israel or Palestine, so I don't know what there is to boycott. And I'm only one guy, like I said. So...
I can't imagine something worse than slumming with the rest of the idiots. Come on!
Yeah, thank you, Steve. This is a gaming channel, and I don't know why people bring me into these topics. Like, I'm willing to talk about some controversial topics, but I don't want to get into something like that. Like, it's a really horrible war that's going on. Change topic, please. Yeah, thank you, Mizor. Thank you, dude.
What is your problem?
Can we see if I can find this dude here? Sometimes he's in here.
Plant my ass for a spell.
I found him. Okay.
You unbind me now, I'm me. Son of a bitch. Christ almighty!
Okay, here we go.
Damn it, just kill them already!
I'm from Palestine, leave my boy alone. Well, thank you, John Wick. Thank you, dude. Thank you, man, for the super chat. Thank you, dude.
You gonna pay rotten for this?
And honestly speaking, I really don't support either side in that conflict. I'm being honest, 100% on that. I'm completely neutral on it. And, this is the last thing I'm gonna say about this, and I'm not bringing this up anymore. If you have a problem with the conflict, the guy that was arguing with me in chat, go protest against the Israeli government and the Palestinian government. But don't bring it up to me, because I literally said I'm neutral, and I'm against the violence and the killing. I don't want to get involved in this stuff.
Less gruesome business bringing them in alive. This part, at least. I got your bounty money here.
Why are historical wars okay to talk about, but modern wars aren't? Well, the modern wars are going on right now, and I don't want to talk about something so depressing that's going on right now. That's why, Andrew.
Why are you being like this?
Okay, here we go. Go back to the Moonshine Shack. Sometimes I'll talk about, like, you know, horrible wars that have happened in the past, but I really don't like, you know, talking about, you know, modern conflicts that are happening right now. It's really depressing. And also, literally, another thing is that when it comes to that conflict, no matter what I say, even if I'm being completely, you know, neutral, which I am, no matter what I say, I'm gonna piss off both sides. I literally am. There was a guy a couple months ago who came to a GTA stream, and he gave me a $10 donation, and he asked me what I think about the Israel-Palestine conflict, and I said that I'm neutral on this. I just want the violence and the killing to end. I don't, you know, support war. I just want this, you know, conflict to end and people to stop killing each other. And the guy made another $10 donation like 5 minutes later, and he told me that's not good enough, and he told me that by not choosing a side, I am choosing a side, and I'm choosing violence, and he accused me of supporting people getting killed. So that's how toxic some. So that's one of the reasons I don't talk about this stuff, is because people get like that, and people get extremely emotional, and no matter what I say, I'm gonna piss somebody off, and people are gonna get really angry in the chat, and that. Okay, here we go. Why did I do a charity stream for Ukraine if I, but not for this conflict? Well, that charity stream that I did was 3 years ago, and I didn't donate to the, militaries. I donated to basically civilians that were fleeing the conflict. I could do, like, a charity stream in the future, like, you know, donating to, like, you know, people that are, like, fleeing the conflict in Israel, Palestine. I could do something like that. But, you know, that was 3 years ago, and I take a position now where I don't get involved in these conflicts. I don't talk about them. I don't get involved in them. And, like, I'm just a guy playing Red Dead. So, like, you know, I don't know why people bring up these random conflicts to me, and that's it. I'll basically say about that. I don't want to get involved in this stuff, and it's just horrible. And like I said, I just support peace. I'm a non-interventionist. I don't want to get involved in other countries' affairs. And, you know, I just want the violence and the killing to end. But no matter what I say, people are going to accuse me of supporting one side or the other side, and so that's, at that point, I'm basically saying, nope, I'm done, I'm not even discussing it now. Yeah, thank you, Tyler. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm not talking about it anymore. I think it's because people want you to be on their side. Yeah, pretty much. And I will just say for the record here, there's really bad people on both sides in that conflict, and so that's even if I say something like that, that's already gonna piss off a bunch of people. So that's pretty much why I stay out of those talking about that stuff. I don't want to bring it up, and it's horrible enough, and then people start getting pissed in chat, and they start arguing, and it just turns to a bunch of drama. Will I play Mafia the Old Country? Yes, I will, dude. I'll play that. I'll play that this year, and I'll play all the other Mafia games. You are right. Choosing sides is just stupid. Better to stay out of it completely. Yeah. Are you pro or anti-Second Amendment? That's something I'm more willing to talk about. I just don't want to talk about these wars because they're so depressing. I will say that when it comes to the Second Amendment, I'm a very pro Second Amendment person. I believe in the I'm a constitutionalist. I believe very strongly in the Constitution, and I do believe that the Constitution grants an individual right to own a firearm. Well said. I agree with your point, you big fan. Thank you, ex-Mexicans. X, thank you, dude. A New Yorker who is pro-Second Amendment, gotta love it. Well, the thing is, though, is a lot of New Yorkers are pro-Second Amendment. That's just a stereotype that you hear that, like, a lot of New Yorkers, like, hate guns. Maybe people that live deep in the city. You know, I grew up in Queens, and a lot of people in Queens were not necessarily anti-gun. The most anti-gun people in New York are typically the New Yorkers that live in Manhattan. But but where I was from Queens, people weren't really anti-gun. Do you own a firearm? Yes, I own a few. Why do so many people want a GTA 4 remaster? I want a GTA 4 remaster so I can play it on console. I would love to play it on console. And I'd love to play it with friends, too. I know I can play the Xbox version, backwards compatible, but I really like a PlayStation version.
Oh, hell!
Would I rather own an M1 Garand or an SVT-40? You want to know something really funny about that? I actually own both of those guns. I own an SVT-40 and an M1 Garand, so I have both of them. The M1 Garand, that fires 30-06, American semi-auto rifle. The SVT-40, that's the Soviet semi-automatic rifle. It fires the 7.62x54R. Doesn't the M1 Garand slice off your... No. What it's called is it's called Garand thumb. The M1 Garand cannot cut off your thumb. The only way the M1 Garand would cut off your thumb is if you put your thumb in front of the gun and shoot it. That's when it would cut off your thumb. But if what you're talking about is you're talking about reloading. When you're... The thing about the M1 Garand is the M1 Garand is a very weird weapon when it comes to reloading because when you... It depends on the... It depends on the M1 Garand, and not every M1 Garand is the same. Some M1 Garands, when you put the clip into the M1 Garand, the bolt will just slam right forward. That's basically what causes Garand thumb. So you put the clip in, and the bolt just slams forward, and the bolt catches onto your thumb. And when that happens, it's not going to cut off your thumb. You're probably not even going to have to go to the hospital, but it is probably going to cut open your thumb, and it's going to hurt like hell. So it's not gonna, cut off your thumb or anything like that, but it's gonna hurt really badly because the bolt, it's like a big piece of, steel that's, slamming forward. It's gonna really hurt. But there are other versions. There's sometimes some M1 Garands you put the clip in and the bolt does not slam forward, and you actually have to slam the bolt yourself forward. So it really depends. But how I've always loaded the M1 Garand is I've actually held the bolt with one hand and then I loaded with the clip with the other hand. That's how I've always loaded M1 Garand, just specifically so that doesn't happen. Are you good with using guns, Pro? With rifles, I would say that I'm okay with rifles. With pistols, I'm horrible. I'm horrible with handguns. I tried using handguns. I'm horrible. Horrible with it. My accuracy is so bad. But rifles I'm way better with. Darkest moment in Rockstar games. The darkest moment in a Rockstar game... Probably Manhunt 2. Yeah, Manhunt 2, I would say. Probably finding out that Danny killed his wife is probably the most darkest moment in a Rockstar game that I can think of. That was really disturbing. Max Payne 3, The Darkest Moment, the human organ scene. If there was to be a GTA San Andreas stories, who do you think should be the main protagonist? I think it should be Big Bear. Maybe also Sweet, too. Sweet might work. Maybe even Caesar. You could play as Caesar, too. That could be something. He doesn't have to be a Grove Street member, after all. And also, I was thinking, in a San Andreas stories, you might play as, because the thing is, in order to make a San Andreas storyline, San Andreas stories, you would have to give a reason for the protagonist to basically go around the entire map. So you'd have to have a reason for the main character to go around the 3 cities. You know who I was thinking would be a good protagonist also for the for San Andreas stories? What about Guppy? Wouldn't Guppy be a good character for that too? Guppy is basically Woozy's right-hand man. So the triad guy, he's basically Woozy's right hand. So I think that wouldn't he work? So I think that Guppy would work as well. And they could do Guppy's story that he has to go to like Las Venturas to help set up the casino, or like you know, Los Santos to get something done down there too.
If their neck breaks when you drop them in the cell, it still counts as alive.
Visiting Sopranos locations, huh? The Vis, that's what it was, Gunner. Oh no, I would not want to play as Ryder. No, no, no. Ryder is a scumbag. No, I would not want to play as him. I would be fine with playing as Big Bear or Sweet, but I don't want to play as Ryder. Johnny Somali. Isn't that idiot that got arrested in South Korea? Thoughts on John Cena apologizing to China for saying that Taiwan is a country made me lose all respect I had for John Cena. Okay, here we go. I think I found a decent location to fish for once. But Gunner, you live in Vietnam, right? Are you even allowed to own firearms in Vietnam? Didn't Vietnam like completely ban firearms? Okay, hang on. I can't really picture Torino being a protagonist, because Torino's that type of guy that sends other people to do his dirty work. Do you know where the Philippines gun culture actually comes from? It actually comes from America, because they've been Americanized for so long. Okay, I got a big fish here. Did you know that the traffic cops in Vietnam are some of the most sleazy cops you've ever seen? No, I didn't know about that. Are they as bad as the Mexican police? The Mexican police are very corrupt, and they rob tourists. So, like, tourists will get pulled over and they'll rob them. Have I played Hell Let Loose? Oh, I love Hell Let Loose. It's one of the best games I've ever played. I'm actually a very high rank in Hell Let Loose. It's an amazing World War II game. A lore video in Ace Attorney? Maybe, yeah. Look at that, I'm in first place. What submachine guns would you like to own? I actually don't own any submachine guns. No, I don't. I own a bunch of rifles, but I don't own any of those. But I don't know, probably the prized one, probably MP5, probably, but that one's really expensive. There's a semi-automatic variant of the MP5 that civilians can get, but it's still really expensive. Would you love to own a Calibri? You mean the tiny pistol? That really tiny pistol? Man, that thing, like, the ammunition in that thing is smaller than a 22. It fires like some weird cartridge. Look at that, there. Huh. You want to know something about the Calibri? I actually did the challenge to get, like, 10 kills or whatever it was with the Calibri. And to get the 10 kills with the Calibri, it's actually not that difficult to do it. The Calibri does so little damage. Do you know what you have to do to get the Calibri challenge done? Use the Martini Henry. Just fire the Martini Henry, hit somebody right in the chest, and if you don't kill them with that first shot, just take the Calibri out and it'll one-shot kill them. That's how I got the Calibri challenges in Battlefield 1. I just used the Martini Henry, And I just would shoot them in the chest, and I'd pull out the Calibri really quickly and just kill them with it. And because they had almost no health left. Hey, what's up, Drip? What are the numbers, Mason? Ha, thank you, Zuhair. Thank you, dude. Look at this. Nice, right? I'm doing really good in this challenge. Really good. Any Cold War era firearms you'd like to own? Yeah, the Makarov. Do I go to the cinema? No. Last time I was at the movies probably more than 2 years ago. You know, I actually can tell you what movie I saw. The last time I was at the cinema, the last time I was at a movie theater was like about 2 years ago. And the movie that I saw, oh man, I would have to look up the name of the movie. It was like 2 years ago. I forget the name, but I remember everything that happened in the movie. It was about, it was a movie about the U.S. Navy's first black fighter pilot. He was like a fighter pilot in the Korean War. And there was a scene in the movie where he dogfights a North Korean MiG-15 and he shoots it down with a Mustang. Devotion, that was it. Yeah, Devotion. That's the name of the movie. That was the movie I watched. I really liked that movie too. Do you think Henry Hill was a good guy? In Mafia 2, you mean? No, he was a scumbag. Do I like superhero movies? Not really, no. I used to watch the Spider-Man movies when I was a kid, like Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3, and those were decent, but... Oh, Henry Hill, I'm sorry, I'm getting confused. When you said Henry Hill, I thought you were talking about Henry in Mafia 2. Oh my god, my brain is not working right now. You're talking about Henry Hill in The Goodfellas. I'm sorry. My brain is not working right now. What I'll say about Henry Hill is, you know, Henry Hill, you know, he went against the people that he worked with, but he still, you know, committed crimes. He still did, you know, scummy things. Was Colonel Cortez a good guy in GTA Vice City? No. He was a dictator. He was a dictator of the Central American country where he was at, but you know, he was loyal to Tommy. That's the thing about him. There's one of his traits that he wasn't a backstabber. I'm gonna get this final fish before the time runs out. I'm gonna get this fish. But I haven't really gone to the movies, and the movies, I don't, there's 3 reasons I don't go to the movies. The first reason that I go to the movies, there's nothing that I want to watch. Second reason is I don't have any friends that I can really go with. And third reason is that the food is extremely expensive. You ever see what movie theater food is like? It's, oh man. Almost got this fish. No, I haven't seen Oppenheimer, no. Who would be in charge of New Jersey if Tony died? Probably Patsy. Patsy married, you know, Tony's daughter. Or no, Patsy's son married Tony's daughter, Meadow. And so, he had really close relations to the boss. So I think Patsy could probably argue that he was next in line. Oh yeah, I know he was pretty close to Morgan, Gunner. I know a bit more about Morgan, but Morgan was part of his direct group. And the thing is, though, is that what a lot of people here's what a lot of people don't know about the Cuban Revolution. During the Cuban Revolution, the Castro's group was called the 26th of July movement. That was the name of Castro's group. But Castro's rebel group was not the only rebel group that fought in the Cuban Revolution. And not only that, Castro's rebel group was actually not the first group in Havana. So when Batista, who was a dictator of Cuba, when he fled, the Second National Front of Escambray, they were actually the first rebel group that was actually in Havana, not Castro. And Castro took credit for that later, and he said, oh, we were the first rebel group. No, he wasn't. It was the Second National Front of Escambray. And what happened was, Castro went after that rebel group. He ended up killing a lot of them and imprisoning a lot of them. And a lot of the Second National Front of Escambray, a lot of those guys, they were actually Bay of Pigs soldiers. So they were actually a lot of the soldiers that took part in the Bay of Pigs invasion later on. You know, those guys were patriots. They loved Cuba. They fought for their country, and they were just backstabbed by, you know, Castro. But yet, you have all of these these really stupid college kids that basically act like Castro was some hero. And they make it seem like the Bay of Pigs soldiers were just evil people. Like, they were just evil, greedy, like, you know, landowners. They were rich and they wanted to oppress the peasantry and a bunch of this other stuff. That was real? I saw the movie. I thought it was BS. You're talking about what Chris said in The Sopranos. I know what you're talking about, East Wolf, with the Cuban Missile Crisis. What are you talking about, Andrew? What do I think about Sam Rothstein in Sorky's Casino? I know that... Wait, I don't know if I know what mobster you're talking about, Gunner. Okay, here we go. No, well, I seen Casino a long time ago. I know if it's Robert De Niro, Gunner, but I forgot it completely. Yeah. I don't like communism, but I absolutely hate imperialism. The U.S. would be so much more like if our foreign policy wasn't so aggressive towards other countries. Well, here's what I'll tell you about this. Communism is not an anti-imperialist ideology. Communism is also an imperialist ideology. You know, people act like communism is not imperialist, but it is. If you look at a lot of communist countries, for example, a lot of communist countries were imperialist. China is imperialist. I mean, look at what China did. China annexed East Turkestan. It took over East Turkestan, and not only did they take over East Turkestan, they also took over Tibet. They annexed it. Is that not imperialism? If a Western capitalist country did that and took over Tibet, would that not be imperialism? But the communists basically think that they get a free pass just because they're communists. So that's the problem with communists, is that communists always act like they always act like they're above imperialism, like they can't be imperialism. They literally, it's accuse your enemies of what you're doing yourself. That's pretty much what communists are doing. And they are yeah, like, especially the Soviet Union. The Soviet Union was one of the most imperialist nations. But I will agree with your point that, you know, the U.S. has gotten involved in a lot of really stupid conflicts. I will agree with you on that. And American foreign policy is like a disaster because the U.S. has gotten involved in, so many stupid conflicts throughout its history. It's the thing is though is that if we The thing is though is that if we if the American forefathers saw like American foreign policy today, they would go absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. Like George Washington was so against interventionism that he did not even want to help like the French in the when they were getting attacked by Britain. So like that's what I'll say about that is that yeah, the forefathers never envisioned like America to be an interventionist nation. They wanted it to be a neutral nation. Is there a reason the USA has gotten involved in so many other countries' problems? Influence. The US wants influence, but it's caused... I would say that it's caused the US more problems. Like, I would say that getting involved in other countries has caused the US more problems than it's solved. Okay, let me go over here, play some poker. Cuba is extremely imperialistic. Actually, Cuba is actually an imperialistic nation. What Cuba has actually done is, Cuba has actually funded FARC. So FARC, the Revolutionary Armed Forces in Colombia, it's a communist terrorist organization. Cuba has actually given them training and weapons, and they've caused chaos in Colombia. Yeah, and that's basically the problem with there's like in Chaz that's basically is that there is so much anti-Americanism out there that if the US gets involved in another country's affair, everybody hates us. If we don't get involved in another country's affair, you know, everybody hates us too. So it's like if we get involved, everybody hates us. If we don't get involved, everybody hates us. That's basically didn't Cuba intervene in Angola as well? Yes, it did. You're right, and it was in the Angolan Civil War. But that's basically it with American foreign policy. No matter what we do, we're hated. No matter what we do. There's nothing we can do to not be hated. Okay. Even if America is a non-interventionist country, we might still be hated. Oh, you're absolutely correct on that. You were absolutely correct on that, Isaiah. That even if America went back to like being a non-interventionist nation, it would be absolutely hated for not intervening in other countries' affairs. Well, honestly, my personal opinion, the way that I see it, the way that I see it, as long as we're not causing anything bad in another country, like we're not funding, you know, another country, or we're not, you know, funding like a rebel group in another country, you know, countries can't get pissed at us for stuff that's happening in other countries. If it's not our conflict, it's not our conflict. If we don't have anything to do with it, but countries will get pissed at the U.S. for that. One thing that I find really weird is that other countries expect the U.S. to get involved in other countries' problems, but they themselves won't get involved. So, like, their country won't get involved, but then they expect the U.S. to get involved. That's one thing I never understood. Why is the Korean War not talked about as much in history and media? Because the Vietnam War happened about a decade after Korea. And that kind of just I guess, overshadowed the conflict. Do alternate history, timelines interest you? No, not really. Because there is just so much stuff that because it's trying to predict something that didn't happen. I don't like that personally.
You believe this?
My favorite episode of The Sopranos, the Pine Barrens.
Cost less than 2 weeks' wages. The nerve.
I'll be.
No, I haven't played Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. I would want to play it. I want to do Delta Force. I'm waiting till it comes out on console.
Shit, different day.
Well, that's just the well-natured things, I guess.
Folding. I don't got anything good here. Bit too high, Zach. Will I do a new playthrough? Yeah, when I finish Ace Attorney Investigations and Black Ops 1, I'll do Days Gone Remastered.
So, yeah.
Yes, Operation Unthinkable. That was Churchill's plan to invade the Soviet Union. Do I watch Formula 1, the racing? No, I'm not really Somebody 32. I know it, but I don't really watch it, no.
Oh, well.
I've heard.
In a show full of scumbags, who's actually a good, decent person in The Sopranos? A good person in The Sopranos? Who is the most good person in The Sopranos? The most... Do I still exercise at the gym? No, I've been slacking, dude. Bobby's a murderer. So no, I wouldn't say that Bobby's a good person. No, Carmela's not a good person. No, she's not.
Things just get worse and worse.
Tony's therapist, maybe. Yeah, the World War II veteran in The Sopranos. Maybe he's one of the few, you know, really good characters in that show. Case 3 of Investigation's admissible Easter egg. Can you give me a hint about it? Junior? Wait, you think Junior was a good person in The Sopranos? No. Ralph? Okay, now I know you're trolling now. We're saying Ralph is a good person. That's
Business is good. The more people moving here, the better it gets. That's how it is. Yep.
don't really wanna I don't really talk much about relationships, Gunner. The jacket, oh, that was with Richie. Remember that one too. Chris is the best person. Oh man. A person gives me a brand new car. Wait, what do you mean, zombie fanatic? Who told you to do that? That's Richie. Oh crap, we both have...
Levi's crop short.
We're splitting it? What? Okay. Once I see a saloon. Okay, I'll keep it in mind, Broken. The best female character in Bully? Yeah, probably Zoe. I would say Zoe, yeah. I like Scarface better, I would say. I like building my drug empire in Scarface. I've watched Sopranos so many times. I actually know all the lines you guys are talking about. When he says you ought to know, sweetie, I know that line too. That's from the construction scene. They're at the construction scene sitting in lawn chairs, and little Polly says that, and then Gene gets really mad, and then Gene smashes a beer bottle over his head. I remember that line. Didn't you say Joe Pantoliano didn't like working on GTA 3 because it was too violent? Yes. So the guy who plays Ralph in The Sopranos, he actually plays Luigi in GTA 3. And he actually didn't like, the reason that Luigi did not come back in GTA Liberty City Stories is because he didn't want to, reprise his role. And the reason that he didn't want to reprise his role is because he said that his kids would look at him as like a bad person playing like a gangster in like a game like GTA. And I found that so weird because he plays Ralph Cifaretto in The Sopranos, and Ralph Cifaretto is like 10 times worse than Luigi in GTA 3. So I don't know how he thought that he'd leave a bad impression on his kids by playing Luigi in GTA 3 when literally he plays Ralph in The Sopranos, who's much worse. Beats a girl to death in a show, plays a minor role in GTA, and is somewhat worse. And here's the thing about Ralph. Ralph actually committed 2 murders. He didn't just beat a girl to death, he beat a pregnant girl to death. So I would say that is probably like the most evil scene in The Sopranos, is probably that scene when like Ralph beats Tracy to death. That's probably the most disturbing scene. The only other one I can really think of that's really disturbing is Adriana's death. Adriana's death is also really disturbing. But yeah, I would say Tracy's death. Because the thing about Adriana's death is we kind of knew that it was coming. Like, right when, like, Chris talked to Tony, we know she was dead. But, like, when it came to Tracy, like, that came out of nowhere. Like, we did not expect that to happen. Like, just Ralph just beats her like that on the spot and just kills her. It was one of the, most brutal scenes I've seen. That was probably the most evil thing a character did in The Sopranos. Do you guys think that Ralph burned the stable in The Sopranos? You think he did that? A lot of people debate about whether he did that or not.
Life treating you well?
I don't want to talk about it.
These things pass.
Oh, David Chase actually said he did? Look at that money right there. Look at that. They give you a brand new car that's across the street or something? What are you talking about, Zombie Fanatic? Nine and 4. Oh, okay. Oh, I shouldn't have bet that. I should have done that. No, I should have done that. Oh, that was a bad idea. I'm gonna lose everything that I just... You have to... Joe Leono, he also played, the guy in Matrix. Forget the guy's name. Was it ever explained why Joey doesn't appear in Liberty City Stories? Probably because they couldn't get a hold of the actor. That's probably the reason. Ah. Did Cuba try to conquer any countries? No, Cuba didn't really conquer any countries, but it intervened in other countries. It intervened in Angola. It intervened in Nicaragua. It intervened in Venezuela. So Cuba has intervened in a bunch of countries before. No, I've never really watched Dexter, but I know the show. My favorite Maharaja song. I don't even remember the names. I'd probably know it by, sound. When I'm playing next time, I'll tell you on my next playthrough of Kiryu when I finish Kiryu's storyline. Come on. Yes, there we go. There we go. That was beautiful, right? Okay, walk away here. I had the same problem with pistols. You're just not lining up the sights properly. You're relying too much on the front sight. All 3 sights have to be centered. Yeah, I get you, Zach. I guess I guess I just didn't have proper grips on it too. That's what I would say. Like I said, I'm a rifle guy. I'm not really a handgun guy. I don't hate handguns, but I'm just not used to them as much as rifles. I prefer like rifles way better, but I'll get better with them. Thank you, Zach. Thank you, Zach42 for the super chat. Thank you, dude. Why am I making it sad guilted? I know, Zach. I'm aware. I know. What would I do if some person did a giveaway of a free new car and you were one of the people who won it as part of a competition? Well, honestly, if I won a car, I would think that it's a scam. Like you said earlier, because you know, in America we have a saying, and the saying is nothing is free. And it's kind of true when you think about it, that the vast majority of stuff, whenever people tell you something's free, there's always some kind of catch. So if I won, like, a car, I would be very skeptical. Do I think Nico prefers rifles or handguns? Nico prefers sniper rifles. Nico has more sniper missions than any other GTA character. How many sniper missions does Nico have? Let me count. 1, 2, 3. 4. Is it 4? Is it 4 sniper missions that he has? No, 5. 5. It's 5, right? Nico, because Nico has more sniper missions than any GTA character. Out of all the GTA characters, he has the most sniper missions out of anyone. And it's based on the character that he was based on, Sasha. He's based on Sasha, an enemy Behind Enemy Lines, and Sasha in Behind Enemy Lines is a Serbian sniper. That's who he's based on. 5, name them. The 5 missions, I don't remember the names, but I can tell you what happens in the mission. His first sniper mission is the mission for Elizabeta. I think it's called Luck of the Irish, where you protect Packy. Then his other sniper mission is, he has a sniper mission, the construction site, for Playboy. That's a second sniper mission. Nico's other sniper mission, when you kill Derek or Francis, that's 3. The 4th sniper mission is the mission with Francis, where you kill that drug dealer that's in the apartment. there's still one more. There's still one more sniper mission. Because Nico has just so many sniper missions. Oh, and the mission where you protect Pegorino. That's the 5th one. So that's 5 sniper missions Nico has. Yeah, I think they kind of killed off Tony Blundetto too quickly. And honestly, I think Tony Blundetto was better off staying a civilian. He made a mistake getting back into a mob life. How in the hell do you remember that? I remember, when it comes to a GTA game, I remember everything perfectly when it comes to a GTA game. The only thing I didn't remember really was the mission names. But I remember what happens in the missions. There's a GTA mission here. Yep. What's wrong, Black Sun? Is everything okay? What's my thoughts on Che Guevara? Che Guevara is a scumbag. Yeah, Che Guevara had a lot of people imprisoned and killed when Castro came to power. Yeah, he was a, yeah, and people see him as, like, some kind of freedom fighter, some kind of, like, really good guy, but he, yeah, about Che Guevara is, yeah. Che Guevara did, and I think Che Guevara was also a racist, too. Will I create a Yakuza lore video? Not really, dude. Because, I only played Yakuza 0. I don't know the Yakuza lore that well, so it makes no sense for me to do a Yakuza lore video. I can do a Yakuza lore video when I play the other games. Then I can do it. Thoughts on the dreams in The Sopranos? I always thought that the dreams in The Sopranos had, like, a symbolism in the afterlife. I thought that they had something to do with that. Yeah, Che Guevara was from Argentina. He was a doctor from Argentina. You're right on that. What do I think about Batista? You mean the dictator of Cuba before Castro came to power? He was a scumbag as well. You know, Batista was evil, too. You know, Batista brought the American Mafia. He brought Lucky Luciano into Cuba. And the Mafia built casinos and hotels in Cuba, like you see in Godfather 2. That happened. But what I'll say about, what I'll say about Batista is, the thing about Batista is that for some reason, whenever I look at the comment section on, like, Cuban Revolution videos, people in the comment sections will, like, they'll say, oh, you know, Batista was worse than Castro, or they'll say Castro was worse than Batista. But I would say this: why do you have to choose either poison? Because Batista was a right-wing dictator, Castro is a left-wing dictator. I would just say, screw both of them. Screw Castro, screw Batista, screw both of them. You know, they were both dictators, both of them destroyed Cuba. So it's, I don't understand why people argue which one's worse. They were both bad, and both of them destroyed Cuba.
Watch where you walk.
Both were evil. Yeah, I agree with you on that, Mustang. The Italian war story, I want to play that one day in, Battlefield 1. I'll do a playthrough Battlefield 1. Maybe I'll do it this year. For, like, the anniversary of World War I, I'll do a playthrough of it. But Batista betrayed HHH and Randy Orton. You're talking about wrestling. No, we're talking about, Fulgencio Batista. He was a dictator of Cuba in the 50s. Well, I hope that everything is okay, Black Sun. What's for dinner, Pro? Oh, I don't know yet. I'd have to check. But I guess I'll probably be wrapping up the stream here. What about LA Noir lore? I could go back to LA Noir lore and do something on it. Oh, thank you, Gretty Gaming. So I guess we'll wrap it up here, guys. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. If you guys enjoyed the stream, do drop a like, and I will see you guys on the next one. We'll do a stream on GTA on Sunday, and also I'll have the next part of Black Ops 1 talking about the gulags in Vorkuta. I'll have that up later today. So thank you guys for hanging out with me. I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care, everyone. Have a wonderful day, guys.